If you set boundaries, or decline work, they act like you're trash, less than human. Not act, they'd straight up say it. If you have ever sold or are currently selling explicit content, what were some of the hardest things for you to come to terms with doing it? I've never had to come to terms with it. I've never had much shame or internalized baggage about the work in general. It's just work to me. The hardest things I've had to deal with in that realm are: 1. The near constant harassment and haggling from random men who think that my line of work entitles them to my time, attention, or freebies. 2. The weirdness that ensues when people I know in real life either engage with my content without running it by me first or do ask me about it, and then don't react well to whatever I say. Somebody replied, "Some people definitely don't understand the difference between business and pleasure. There are people who post free content because they enjoy it, but a lot of people tend to assume everyone is like that and is just tacking on the dollar signs to make some extra money. They don't understand some people actually make a living off it and it's not just for pleasure for them." I was pretty okay with most of it. When someone offers you a week's wage for 10 minutes of work, you kind of accept it. I think making some custom videos and showing my face was really hard. Though once I got over that hump, I just didn't care. Somebody replied, "I could see that definitely being one of the harder lines to cross. Your face is your identity, just putting the rest of you out there is just somebody else selling content. But your face links everything you've ever posted to you as an individual person. I'm sure it was a hard decision for you to make. Once it's out there, you can't take it back and you can't control who finds it. It's been years, but I still worry that someone in my current industry or field could find things." Somebody replied, "Roger Montoya is a state representative for New Mexico, and during his campaign it came out that he had starred in a few videos of his own. He got elected anyway. Hopefully, if your stuff gets out, things will be okay like they were for him." I didn't really have anything to come to terms with. Though I was surprised how much work it is. I have to be constantly on and constantly shooting more to keep up with demand. In regards to the work aspect, my friend started with just a phone. Then she was like, "I'm competing with all these people with really good looking content," and so she got a webcam, then a tripod, then a condenser mic for good sound. Then she's spending time figuring out an auto-click phone app for hands-free content, and in the end she just got a customer service job for a health insurance company. Not because of the shame, haha, just because of the work and effort involved. Just about some men look down on people like us, and blackmail or threaten us when we put down boundaries. But still like seeking us out. Despite them seeing us as beneath them. It's jarring. This never makes sense to me, to look down on someone for doing their job and still expect them to provide you with the exact same service you just looked down on? It makes no sense whatsoever. Like, if anything, they should be grateful that you're willing to sacrifice something so sacred to accomplish your goals despite knowing what they do with it. I sell content and I don't have any personal issues about it. The way some men treat me is cruel and horrifying. But genuinely I believe those specific men will act this way towards myself and other women regardless if there was explicit content involved or not. That's really the only thing I've hated having to come to terms with. The unrelenting constant of it. You have to always be outputting. Always. Lots of it. Most days or on binge. It's more of a commitment than just going to a job. I don't make enough to justify it either. The hardest thing for me was definitely that I was never able to do that whole, just a customer, don't care about them, type thing that I was supposed to. I ended up developing feelings for a lot of people I was selling stuff to, not like want a relationship feelings but more like I care and want to talk to them and not find new people to sell to. This ended up with me not having a lot of people to sell it to, but the ones I did have paid more and stayed longer, and also ended up with my feelings getting hurt, even though I was stupid and it was my fault. Somebody replied, "Being kind and compassionate to others can be a wonderful, healing experience for everyone involved, ideally. I am happy to hear how kindly you treated people, even if it held you back in other ways. Thank you for sharing this. I hope you feel the love you hold for others. You deserve that too." I pondered about being involved in this for months, especially seeing other girls doing it and making extra money. Now my only fear is losing my job. I am careful not to include our faces in the pictures and videos in case they end up on other sites so no one local realizes who we are and what we are doing. But it's hard when we have corporate jobs and people online think you're fake because you won't show your face. I feel isolated and lonely a lot. I just can't talk to many people about it. My therapist was literally assigned to me by an agency specializing in this type of work, but I don't even talk about it to him. Maybe if they hadn't assigned me a man it would be easier. I'm lucky that I have a boyfriend who's supportive, and his opinion on it is really the only one I care about. I don't know how often people who sell content of themselves get recognized, but I think you could if you're cautious of identifiers, such as not showing your face, any tattoos that are still visible when fully clothed, any unique decorations in your room. Someone you know may recognize you. There are a few things I found. I've been doing it for 3 years this month, although nothing in person. But mainly the fact that the same men who spend good money to watch me think I'm a certain way and look down on me for doing what I do, yet they're the ones who are demanding my time. Like it devalues me, when in reality it's allowed me to comfortably live alone and got me through my job reducing my hours through lockdown, a breakup and having to shoulder the bills and rent myself. It also helped my self-esteem to no end when I thought I was disgusting. There's no supply without demand, my dudes. It is also so mentally exhausting to initiate an inane chit-chat with strangers online, to draw out the conversations to always be bubbly and happy. I literally get off calls and flip down on my bed glad that they've gone most of the time. Also, the fact that people who know and say they don't mind can throw it in your face. The partner I was with at the time I got into it agreed for me to start and said he was fine, but the minute we broke up he outed me to mutual friends and it was a sob story. Then he threatened to out me to his family. I told him to go ahead and do it because he didn't seem to have a problem spending the money I made doing it. The stigma that comes with it is something you have to bear, and you constantly have to weigh up if you think you can tell someone and if they're going to be okay with it or if it's going to be a friendship ender. I think the hardest thing for me is mainly two things. First one is how it is still such a taboo and badly seen. What I am doing is normal, natural. Second one is how some women can be so rude to another. It baffles me. Ladies, it's not a competition and we should all support each other. Men assume that because you have pictures or videos for sale that you, yourself are available as well for a price and try to purchase your time rudely. Some of them think that because you respond to messages you want them and ask you on dates or try talking dirty to you, ask for a hookup etc. they just assume you've got nothing better to do than talk dirty to them for free and send them free shit. Somebody replied, at the very core of it, all they really want is attention. It's amazing how easily basic needs can get twisted by personal wants. I think it's best to just never give any client anything outside of what they paid for, even if it's a simple comment. It makes people feel special, which eventually leads to entitlement. It's a job like any other job. Sure, it feels strange the first time, but then I became blasé about it. You're like an actor in movies who gets paid heaps of money, except depending on what you do, you don't earn as much as an actor. It's always just the audacity of men for me. They're always mixed with this awareness of how depraved, toxic, and hypocritical they are. The things you would get asked for is literally just disgusting. They want to see you humiliated, subservient and degraded. And then they look down on you for creating the content they're paying to see. I never had internalized issues with creating the content, and I never let it go into my identity or my worth or anything, so I was able to laugh off most of the revolting things. But it honestly made me hate most men. I would try to like them, try to respect their choice, give them the benefit of the doubt, but they'd very quickly make me aware that they should be considered as a threat. If you set boundaries, or decline work, they act like you're trash, less than human. Not act, they'd straight up say it. The main issue with this work is just men. Somebody replied, it is genuinely crazy, and the fact that it doesn't matter whether it is free or paid content, you see that kind of stuff regardless. Like there is no respect or gratitude to the people who share it for free, and there is no understanding that if it is paid you get what you paid for, nothing more, nothing less. They chose to pay, they should respect it. Also, I just want to add that we shouldn't generalize, it is only that the negative is more obvious and easy to see. Somebody replied, absolutely. I personally don't see it as generalization. I've never met a consumer who was respectful, empathetic, or anything close to the basic standard of qualities that you would expect from a fellow human. I have met a lot of intelligent, successful, funny and charismatic men who consume this content, but never a kind one. Never one who understood, empathized with or respected me, or the other women they were consuming. And my standard for human goodness includes those qualities. I have met wonderful men, who don't consume this content, who are empathetic, kind, understanding and respectful. My experience shows that those kind of men are not the ones I have to deal with professionally. I think we have a good authority on the types of people who are genuinely, authentically good, and those who merely act it. It is us. Not society, not their wives, not their employers, who see how they truly treat one of the most vulnerable classes. I've started thinking about starting content because I need medical procedures done that have added up to over $10,000. I'm only 21, no insurance and only making minimum wage. I'm in lots of pain, went to free clinics who said they couldn't help me. I don't qualify for Medicaid because I'm not pregnant or a mother and I apparently make too much money. I've been told I'm hitting pain levels of going into labor. And I've been going through this for a couple years now, but a couple months ago, it's gotten this bad. I'm so desperate to not be in pain anymore. Somebody replied, in the end, it's a decision you have to make for yourself. The world we live in definitely isn't a fair one. If you've exhausted all your other options and this is the decision you've come to, I don't think anyone here would look down on you for that. Selling this content in and of itself is not inherently a bad thing no matter what anyone says. Just make sure if you do start, you hold firm in your morals and don't do anything you don't want to do. I used to draw and sell furry artwork, drawn anthropomorphic characters. It was a lot of fun and the customers were ultra nerds who were very polite and positive, but what always scared me was that someone could use my name against me. In my country it would be impossible to find other work again if you're associated with something like that. I only advertised and sold to people that were far removed from me and didn't speak my native language. So yeah, it was hard to accept that something that brought me fun and money, and hurt nobody, could ruin my whole life at any point. That is also the main reason I'm not doing it anymore. I hope these comments made you reflect on the people around you. What do you think of the people who wrote these? What would you say to them? Let me know in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe to the channel for more harsh truths.